Hi again. This video, I'm going to show you the tabs and the main menu of Scratch. So we look up here, you can see that we have a tab for the code, a tab for costumes, and a tab for sounds. So those are the three main tabs. Well, we know about the code and the blocks. Costumes is like a paint program. Here's where you can change the costume or redo a sprite. So, for example, this is the cat sprite that comes up in Scratch right away. So, in the Costumes tab, I can actually select different parts of this sprite and kind of break it apart and do some kind of like a manipulation of how that sprite looks. If you ever do that sort of thing, you can always select the undo button and kind of put things back together again. So we're going to talk about this in another video of how to use this costumes button. There's also a button, a tab called sounds. Now, since there's a cat here, the cat has a sound called meow. So if I hit the play button, that's the meow sound. And there's different functions that we can do to play with that sound. So we'll look at that again in another video. As far as backdrops are concerned, I'm going to move my video up. If I add a backdrop, I'm going to go back to that beach Malibu like I did before. This is kind of in the way. You can see now I have a background or a backdrop for my cat. Well, the costume, I got to make sure my backdrop is highlighted here. You can see the costume tab has now been changed to a backdrop tab so that I can edit how the background looks. So in here, I can do different things and add rectangles or circles or lines to my backdrop. So if the backdrop is highlighted like it is now, then the second tab turns into the backdrops. If I select a sprite, now the tab is called costumes because you can have in this left column here, you can have multiple costumes for different sprites. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. Now, if we go up on top and look at the menu, there's one called File, and this is how you can start a brand new Scratch program and it's called New. Or you can load a program from your computer or save your current program in case you want to come back later. So that's kind of handy as well. There's the edit button, which doesn't do too much other than turns on turbo mode. So if you've got some movement going on and you want to go in high speed, go and try turbo mode. Here's the tutorials tab up on top. If you click on that, there's a whole bunch of tutorials to help you learn more about Scratch. I'm going to go back to the main screen. And way on the right side, you can join Scratch. You can log into the Scratch website. We're not going to do any of that in our programming. So that's a little bit more about how to use these tabs and the main menu up in Scratch. Thanks, folks.